Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is the next video where we're going to be discussing about the market scenario, that how exactly the market behaved today and how exactly I took my trade today and what was the sentiment of the overall market. So today is the 23rd of May, and yes, it was a very interesting day. I did so many mistakes today, so this video is specifically going to be about my trades. I will be explaining that point, that what are the mistakes that I did and what are the things that I've learned today. So yes, the market sentiment was quite interesting as well, because the market was not able to sustain the higher levels once again. We have seen 16,400 as a crucial resistance once again. Market tried to go up, but yes, it took a resistance from the same level and it has come back to its original level from where it opened. So the market actually opened at the price of 16,290, and as per the overall market scenario, it was expected that there will be some sort of a bull run that's going to happen, because yesterday, the Friday as well was a quite bullish day, and the market definitely tried to move in that way, because the overall closing of the Friday's market was bullish. So we were expecting something similar to that happen. But initially, when the market opened at the price of 16,290, market actually it was just a flat opening, I would say. I wouldn't say that it was a gap up. Let me show you what was the overall global scenario was. So the global scenario was quite flat. If you would have to see at the SGX Nifty data, it was 0.5 negative, and the Nasdaq was also 0.3 negative. So we were expecting somewhere around the same level of flat opening, and that's what happened in the market. So market opened at 16,290 and it tried to go down a little bit, but yes, because of the previous consolidation and previous supports, the market respected that point and the buying started coming in. So buying started coming in at the time of around 9:35, and the market started to go up. So based on the overall performance of the market, I was expecting that the market is not gonna quickly go up. There will be a little bit of consolidation, and that's the reason I tried to make a straddle over here. So, but what really happened at that point in time is that I was trying to create a straddle around this point, around the time of 10:30, because there was a consolidation that got started around this area. So there was a mistake that I did when I created the basket of 16,000. So the level which I was trying to make a straddle of was of 16,350. So I was trying to make a straddle of that 16,350, and what really happened is that I created the basket, but I somehow missed to check my funds. I was trying to create a straddle of 150 quantity each for CE and PE, but by mistake I did not check my funds. It only executed the order for 16,350 CE, and market started to go up after that. It did not execute the order of 16,350. That was completely my mistake. I was not able to, I did not check my funds properly, and after 5 minutes I realized that the P leg hasn't got started. So because of that mistake, I immediately was in loss. So I was trying to manage to sell some P levels once again, but it was quite a late time. So I tried to manage my orders. This is the biggest lesson that I've learned today, that for a straddle, both of the orders has to get executed immediately, otherwise one leg is going to give you the loss. So that was the first learning that I learned today. But I somehow managed my straddle. I somehow exited one position of C with some small loss, and basis on that I managed both of the legs with the 100 quantity each, and my straddle started to get decay a little bit as soon as the market consolidated a little bit. So market started consolidating around this time as well, 12:25, 12:30. It was not moving beyond the level of 16,400, or on the bottom side it was not going below the level of 340, 350. It was moving around that level only. So because of that straddle, I made the straddle of 16,350. I was able to manage my loss. Initially the loss was minus 2,200, and somehow I managed it to minus 200. I was at the point when my both legs were performing equally and in a better way. So what happened around this time, at around 1:15, there was a bullish sign that we saw once again. Market actually tried to go to the level of 16,400. So as soon as it reached to this particular level, let me show you what was the RSI at that point in time. So as soon as it reached to the level of 16,400, we saw a huge dip coming in the levels of RSI. So I was pretty much sure that the selling is gonna definitely come, because there was a negative candle that was made around this point when the market was at the point of 16,400. That was a complete stretch. There were continuous green candles that were coming in, and market was actually not able to sustain the level of 16,400 as we have already seen in the past. And that's what actually got started. So there was a negative candle that was made around this level, and RSI started to going down. It came around the level of 45, 46, and because all the indicators were also giving the sign that it's going to be a negative one. The super trend also got negative, and it also gave the hint as soon as the RSI fall beyond the level of 40. So it was a complete negative sign. So what I did is that I carried both of the legs of 16,350 straddle, and that was the biggest mistake that I did. I could have easily exited my P position because I had already got the maximum profit from that leg. And if I would have exited my P leg and I would have only carried my C leg, then I would have easily captured these two big red candles. And basis on that, my profit would have been extremely good for today. But what I did is that I made a mistake once again. I carried both of the legs at the same time, and I was waiting for some kind of a decay, but that did not happen, because there was a strange thing that was happening today. Because of the high volatility, both of the premiums were not getting decayed. As today is also Monday. I was not pretty much sure whether it's because of the Monday or whether it's because of the volatility. What exactly is the reason the legs were not getting decayed? So, but yes, I carried these two positions, and when it came around the level of 340, I just exited my straddle with just a small profit of 250. And that ended my trade for that straddle, 16,350. So yes, I just booked a small profit around this area, and as soon as the market reached to the level of 16,300, I thought that it's going to consolidate once again because of the previous supports, previous levels that has been made in the past, and the consolidation that we have seen around this level. So I was also believing on my CPR levels. I was expecting that it's not going to at least reach to the level of 16,200 today, and it's not going to go up again to the level of 16,350 because the time was already 2 o'clock. So I entered once again with a straddle of 16,300. This time I entered with a straddle with both of the legs executed at the same time with proper prices. So yes, there was a consolidation that was happening around this level, and I waited for a little bit, and I was in the profit of once again around 500. This time I made a small straddle. I mean, it was not some small straddle, it was with the same quantity, 100 quantity each. So I entered around this area and the consolidation started to happen. But again, I made a mistake once again because the market was not able to sustain the level of 16,300 as well. I could have exited my position around this time because I was already in a good profit. But yes, I made a mistake once again, and that is the other lesson that I learned, that if the market is not able to sustain the levels, the higher levels, and also it was not just that hint that I should have taken care of. Overall sentiment of the market was extremely negative. Reliance was negative, metal sector was also negative. So it was a good sign that I should have exited my position, because around this level the market was at 0.01% or 0.05%. It was not that high. It was at the flat level. And yes, based on the world's market data and based on the Reliance, based on the other sectors, that how they were performing, it was quite evident that the market is not gonna close on the positive side. So I could have easily exited my position with the profits. But yes, as soon as this red candle was made at the time of 3 o'clock, my profits dropped down to negative. So around this level of CPR, I exited my position with the small loss of 478, and overall it was a negative day. But my risk to reward was quite obvious, and I was quite obvious with my loss that I will be accepting this kind of a loss easily. And but on the other side, if that level would have sustained, then I would have ended my day with a profit of around 1,000, 1,500, somewhere near to that. So it was overall a good day. I had learned so many things. Straddle, there are so many logics which has to be learned about the straddle. This has to be done properly. Otherwise, it does not take much of the time. Only one candle can just change the complete scenario. But yes, I was trying my just logics that I will try to keep the positions till the end of the day, because I was expecting some kind of a decay to happen, because of the huge volatility, the market, the premiums were not getting decayed. So that's what we have seen today. And also the Monday factor was also coming in. The premium starts to decay after 2 o'clock, but that usually happens on Monday as well, but I did not see that thing happening today. But Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday are definitely the best days for the straddle, for the premiums to get decay. And one major thing that I also want to share about, based upon the steel industry news that we got yesterday, because of the high 50% export duty on iron ore fines and 45% on the iron ore pellets, we saw huge negative sign on the huge negativity in the metal side. As you can see, the CNX metal, let me show you how exactly the metal performed today. All the shares in the metal sector were negative. Let me just open that. Okay, so CNX metal that we want to see, well, majorly if you would have to just take a look over here, then CNX metal was negative by 8.14%. Energy was also negative, minus 1.44. Auto sector was performing a little bit good today, but overall there was a negativity that has been going around in the market, because I mentioned that point previously as well, that till the time the market is not gonna give the closing above the level of 16,500, 600, then until then we cannot say that it's the reversal. And if we have to analyze the market on the broader side, then yes, it is performing in the same way. We cannot still be sure that whether the reversal is going to come up or how exactly the selling is going to continue or not. So as of now, the market is still dicey. We have been seeing selling coming in. Market is not able to sustain the higher levels. So yeah, it's quite much obvious that the market may start selling once again, and we may see the gap down happening tomorrow. So what I've been thinking, that tomorrow is going to be a little bit of gap down. The market may open around the level of 16,050 to 100 or 150, somewhere near to that. And if it's going to be a gap up, then I'm not expecting the market to go beyond the level of 16,350. But also one thing is happening, it's quite kind of moving in a similar fashion of world market, how exactly the Nasdaq is performing. That is also playing a crucial role as of now. So if the global market sentiment would be green today, would be positive, then we can expect some sort of a gap up, and definitely this gonna happen. Market's gonna try the level of 16,400 once again in this week. If the gap up is going to happen and market's going to be able to sustain the level of 16,300 for some time, then we can see the buying coming in tomorrow once again. But what I've been expecting, there will be a little bit of gap down around the level of 16,100. That's going to happen tomorrow. And then again, if that's going to happen, 16,000 will act as a crucial support. And after that, if that's going to break, then yes, we can expect the selling coming once again to the level of 15,800. Alright guys, so that's it in this video. This was the overall logic and the analysis and how exactly did I trade it today. Let me show you my PNL for today. As I don't trade with the huge quantities, so this is something that I want to share with you. Because I'm a small trader, I trade with small quantities, so that's it. The 400 minus 478 was the overall loss for today. I somehow managed it to From initially it was minus 2200, so I managed it somehow with this much of loss, but it was quite obvious. I was expecting that to happen if the market is not gonna move in my way. All right, guys, so thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and thanks for watching. And that's it in this video. See you next time.